All right, fantastic. So I was on this mastermind call on Wednesday, and I got a lot of great tips from it because what was interesting is the quality of the mastermind was at a very high level. And here's why it was at a very high level. The one facilitating the mastermind barely spoke. And what was incredible was there was so much valuable information that came out of that. And guess what? The facilitator barely spoke. All he did was facilitate and ask great questions. And it really came out to an amazing, amazing call. And here's how we started out. And this is how I want to kind of go through our call today. If you haven't taken action on something, we don't want to talk about the what ifs. So that being number one. Number two, we want to bring something of value for everyone that everyone's kind of experiencing. So there's a couple of things that I learned on that call, and I was blown away because it's everything that we talk about on a daily basis. Now, I'm going to ask, I want this to be a very interactive call. If you have had great success from our morning calls, I want you to share a testimonial on what's made it great. If you're struggling with one thing that is extremely challenging to you, please bring it up and let's collaborate and mastermind them around it. And I don't want it to be an explanation 30 minutes long about how a buyer went with another realtor and what do I do in that case. Let's mastermind around growing a business. Okay, so the first thing that we opened up with on that call was, no matter what business you're in, I'm going to ask this question: what is our number one job in real estate? Anybody know? What is our number one job in real estate?
I don't have the time to go in there and out. We got to be there earlier now. It's 10:15. And with the traffic and
Deborah,
stuff,
yes,
it's
you
not
can.
worth
It's
it.
literally on the way. We have to go literally almost 500 feet.
It's just not
Lead
worth it. Well, maybe we'll take them
generation.
there over the weekend. I'll just say today doesn't work.
Tiffany, there you go. All right, who said that? Somebody said lead generation. Who was that?
I did, Tom.
Chris. Oh,
Daryl.
fantastic. So our number one job description is lead generation, correct? Would everyone
Yes.
agree?
Yes,
All right.
and lead follow-up.
Oh, holy cow. Our number two job is, who said that? I see
Me.
you. I see you.
I'm driving, so I probably will turn my camera off, guys.
So your number one job is lead generation. Your number two job is lead follow-up. Who knows what the third job description is? Go on appointments.
Customer service.
To be of service.
Yeah, absolutely. To be a service, Chris and Edward, you have to be able to build a relationship, right? So you got to be able to go on the appointment. So the third thing is appointments. The fourth thing is writing contracts. And the fifth is closings. So I want to kind of mastermind around this. If we don't lead generate, how do we expect to go through any of these others, right? So if, Chris and Edwards, you mentioned value, right? Bringing value to the customer. If you don't meet with them on an appointment and talk about your value proposition, you're not going to build that relationship. So it's lead generation, it's lead follow-up, it's appointments, it's contracts, and then closings. Now, I want to say this. Writing contracts doesn't mean number four. Being under contract is number four. Because we know in our world today, we can write 10 contracts and still not be under contract. So what are you preparing? You're preparing an offer. right? You're preparing an offer. It's an agreement to move forward. It's just an offer. A contract is when all parties agree to it, right? I'm writing you an offer. I'm not writing you a contract. I'm writing you an offer. I'm preparing an offer, right? So I want to mastermind around this. And I also want to hear what has helped you on our calls achieve the goal of being very productive in your lead generation, your lead follow-up, your appointments, your contracts, and your closings. I had a young lady that I met with one-on-one about 3 weeks ago, and I never met her personally. And she was thanking me, and it warmed my heart because she said, I earned a commission because of one of your calls that I would have never earned because, and she's not with EXP, I would have never earned because our broker never taught us anything like this. So I'm going to leave it open. This is your mastermind. This is for you guys to grow. I would love to make it very interactive. So anyone want to share what their huge success has been and what has the success been from based on what we've been able to bring a value to you?
I'll start off, Tom. I won't leave you hanging.
You better not leave me hanging. And I don't have the power to mute. So if you say anything really negative about me, Tiffany, get on it real, well, maybe because you're so close to Tiffany, maybe Joe will. No, I'm kidding.
All right. So what I came to this group a year and a half ago now, Tom, I think it was.
Yeah.
I've been in business for a while, seasoned agent, and every day what I get out of this group is the energy and the knowledge of younger agents, technologies that I'm not even thinking of, things that are trending in the industry. I have lots of experience, but I have no experience with TikTok, whatever all these other things are, and it opens my mind to whole new areas that I would never even have considered before. And I think it's phenomenal to be able to get that from a group like this.
So it's kind of exposed you to an uncomfort zone of yours into another technology piece of the business, that potential business for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, to piggyback on that, guys, I want everyone to think about this. And I want to kind of rant on someone that just popped in. She wasn't here a minute ago, but I want you guys to start thinking cryptocurrency purchases. I know nothing about it, so don't ask me a question about it. I have zero knowledge of cryptocurrency, period. But I would say this, if you see a class coming up at the Board of Realtors or somewhere, you need to go. You need to find out what our next, what's the next thing that's going to be helping purchases of properties through cryptocurrency. And it's going to be, it will be here. And if you don't have the knowledge of it, you're going to be dead in the water. So especially with a lot of the younger generation. So I would definitely say, if you see a class come up with a cryptocurrency, jump in there. So again, something new coming into our industry of how to purchase properties, right? All right, fantastic. Who's had some huge success from stuff that we've done on these calls? And please share and let's mastermind around it. Krista.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can see that beautiful sky out there too.
Okay. So I came into EXP about 10 months ago, and I have to say that these calls have been amazing, an amazing start for my day. And even though, I'm a 18-year veteran in real estate, I'm always learning. So I love, the open house, clipboard thing that Tina Valiant showed us how to do, where we, give the clipboards to our prospective buyers and let them roam around inside the house. So I've adapted that strategy, and it's been great because I've been able to capture a lot of buyers that way. And then talking about cryptocurrency, It's interesting because I got a referral, a California EXP agent, for a buyer in Miami who wants to buy with crypto. And I'm like, I have no idea what to do, but I'm learning about it and I'm going to get it done. So being resourceful and being in this group and masterminding with everybody has been a life-changing for my career. And I appreciate you guys.
Krista, thank you so much. We have a seasoned agent in our that's come to our company, like Krista, who does great volume, and she's learning and growing from our masterminds. And she's not brand new, so she's come in here seasoned and even grew more, right? I want to brag on someone that just joined in the call. I was looking at, she's number 93 in the board of Realtors right now. And I just want to, I don't know if she just disappeared or not. Susan, are you still on the call? Susan Cornelius? I don't see her there, but she went from, she was doing they were doing an average of 4 or 5 sales a year. She's done that in like, she's done like 7 in the first, there she is. Hey, Susan, I just want to ask you, what's changed in your world to bring you to number 93 in the entire board of Realtors year to date? When, you know, at the previous, I'm not knocking the previous brokerage, but what's changed in your business? Has anything with our calls, our environment, our group, what's changed for you that you can share with us that can really help us understand, that can help us grow?
Well, definitely joining EXP. And thank you, Tom. As you know, our son went to EXP first and introduced us. And we had a discussion and went with you, our previous. And the GPS and everything with how much everyone gives to each other is key. There's really no competition within our society or whatever you want to call it. And the freedom, we never really went to the meetings. We did when we first started. I enjoy doing it here. You know, I got my dog out here. So, I mean, I'm happy doing everything from my home. And it has just, since joining EXP, we've taken off.
Let me ask you a question. So your office is your home and your collaboration and partnerships are here in this screen, and it doesn't affect, it only helped your business grow.
Correct.
See, guys,
Absolutely.
There's limited mindset that you need to have this extravagant office to be successful. What you need is a collaboration of great minds.
Exactly.
Right. Thank you.
And having, and I'm sorry, but also in having that, you get different perspectives from different people. Like, you don't have to be X. We do things totally different. Tass and I do things different. We're not, you know, computer going out there and doing all this other stuff. We're people.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. When I seen your business explode the way it did, I sent you a message at 6:30 this morning. I'm like, oh, I hope I didn't wake them. So I get up early. So I'm starting to send, like, I go to my the market reports and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I want to send this off. Oh, their business is going by 300%. And I'm sending stuff off and not realizing they're probably still sleeping, but that's okay. So forgive me, guys.
I do things at 4:30 in the morning, so not a problem.
So you did respond right away. So yeah, I mean, again, it comes to her business, their business, her and her husband's business has exploded. And by the way, her son is an amazing young man with EXP, and he's not focused on sales and growth and all that. He's doing other things for investment and wealth building. And he told them, go work with Tom. He's the one that's going to really help you grow with this group. And I was floored. I said, Phil, I appreciate that, but that's okay. They can, and he's like, no, I want, this would be the best thing. So thank you for sharing, Susan. And hopefully I didn't put you on the spot. Anybody else? What is the most valuable thing you've got out of our calls that's helped you grow your business, or another way of growing your business? And let's share it out, because this is a open mastermind. This is your time.
I'll
Hey,
go.
Tom.
Kara?
Yeah. So
Kara.
when I just came in from another company, and one of the first calls that I joined was how goals should change. They can and should change. And so at my previous company, we were taught, celebrate the company that you're with. And this is why you have the business that you have, because they're the number one blah, blah company and the number one in agents company. So you're taught heavily to promote the company. And really I lost track of the definition of why people choose me. So in that conversation, how goals can and will and should change, I thought, okay, I need to re-identify my niche and re-identify myself as who I service, and kind of get back to why it's so undeniably explainable that people choose me over 4,000 other agents or doing nothing at all. So kind of making my marketing a little more magnetic, and why do people, when they see something online about me, why do they call me, and is it so undeniable that they have to call me?
I love that, Kara. Thank you for sharing that. You know what? And guys, I say this all the time. You are the brand. We want you to succeed at a highest level. The company is the tools and the models to help you achieve what you want to achieve, with benefits. But this is your company. You own your company, right? You are an owner within EXP. See, that's why we have the shareholders meeting in June, because you are a owner in this company. And when you brand yourself as an owner, you are coming from a different mindset, period. A different mindset. And Kara's enthusiasm and participation and everything has been outstanding. And I appreciate her as a partner, because she can come from a huge place of contribution, does great business, has great connections out there. And so if you know anybody, and she's in Alabama. So if you know anybody looking to buy and sell in Alabama, there's your girl. Thank you for contributing. There was Chris or Daryl. Chris and Daryl. It's going to be Daryl. I know it. Here it is.
Morning.
Oh, it's Chris.
So specifically, it's both of us, but so to speak. So recently, we've had a client a customer who, like everyone else, really excited to get a house, a lot of showings, a lot of written offers, a lot of rejected offers. And it was getting to the point where we could feel like they were ready to give up. And I was writing super strong offers. And I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago that Tina Valiant had hosted a call. And it was on ways to get your offers accepted in a crazy market. And I was listening in desperation for just, what is even just one more tweak, one more thing that I can do to give me the edge, because missing out, losing out to cash offers, but there's got to be something else that I can do to sharpen this up. And unfortunately, I missed the last 20 minutes. I had to go back and listen to it on YouTube. I emailed Tina. She emailed me back, and then she called me. And there were a couple of different tweaks that we made. Well, let's back up. I had one more showing to do with this couple after this call. And one of the things that we did, because they were losing hope, they were becoming desperate, they were looking at everything, even things that they really didn't want. We had one house that I knew was perfect for them. And I used Tina's tie down techniques as we finished walking through, and, we stood in the kitchen. Is this your kitchen? And yeah, I think this is my kitchen. And then we walked in the living room. Is this
Where will you put your Christmas tree?
Where will you put your Christmas? We really just, she owned that house. I said, okay. So this is your house. Yes, this is my house. Okay. We'll write the offer. Don't look at any other houses. This is your house. You don't need to look at anything else. Because I was constantly getting, we need to look at this, we need to look at this. And that's kind of counterproductive when we're just throwing spaghetti at a wall. And I used a couple of Tina's techniques that she had given us on the call, on the personal call, that not just the call that she shared with everyone, but also the personal call. And I made some adjustments, and we had the offer accepted, and we are on our way to the closing, and that was accepted exactly 2 weeks ago today.
Chris, thank you for sharing that. Without that call, being on that call with Tina, you would have never had those tie downs. Is this your kitchen? Where would you put the Christmas tree? See, so often we go in there and we want to voice our opinion. Oh, this is a nice kitchen, isn't it? Versus, is this your kitchen? It's just a tweak of words. And you know what? Tina Valiant brought value to so many of us on these calls. It helped Chris and Daryl proceed forward with their offer and go to closing. You know, that right there is a testimonial to say, listen very carefully to these calls, and you're going to learn something that's going to help you with your business. Thank you.
And Tom, because of all this, not only did we get that one accepted, we also have another one that's accepted that we have a closing next week. And we also used her technique with a seller that we signed up a seller this week as well. And so her techniques and what you learned from this group is invaluable.
Absolute gold. Absolute gold.
Hey, Chris and Daryl. So you're
Hold
saying,
on. I'm sorry, Jonathan. I don't mean to shut you off. I wanted to go in the order of that was up there. Sorry, I'll come right back to you, Jonathan. Daryl, the testimonials are what brings the value to our group. You know, the sharing of, hey, don't miss out on this opportunity. It's so invaluable.
It is.
And Jonathan, I'm sorry, I'm going to go Style, Liz, and then right to you. Style.
And Tom, we're also using off Friday. I'm sorry, Wednesday. I thought it was Friday. So we're gonna use that technique as well with this gentleman.
You know what? And I'm going to dig into that a little bit more near the end of the call, but thanks for bringing that up. I can honestly say I can count for $100,000 of income from the GPS calls, just from that one call we had with Open Door OfferPad. Go ahead, Style.
Hi, morning. All I wanted to say was
Hey,
that
Style, you made a comment a few weeks ago and I took your advice. I went and got some implants. No, I'm kidding.
I know you're being serious. You just don't want to.
looks like spray paint to me.
So anyways, what I wanted to say was that, and I'm speaking for myself, I came into this company as a brand new agent, and I learned the right way because I heard from other people from other brokerages out there that don't have the same training, the amount of training, the quality of training that we have. And this is good for all the brand new agents out there that's in this call, or if it's not on this call, we can pass it along, because I think this group has, not only this group, but EXP as a whole has the quality of training that everybody should have. Because you learn from the experts, you learn from new techniques, you learn for all the technology that's out there, and EXP brings that to
Morning,
us.
can you guys hear me? Okay.
So to me, I think it's not only one thing here or there that brought you to success. It's everything as a whole. Because I don't have anything negative to talk about this company. Everything as a whole, you learn every day, you learn something new. It's on these calls especially. So
Yeah.
that's my contribution.
Thank you, Stael. I appreciate that. And here's the thing that happens when you hear something great that you feel is going to be great for your business. There's something that we always procrastinate on. And here's what it is. You ready? Take action. That's it. You have to, if you hear something great, you got to take action. If you don't take action, nothing will happen. I promise you, you'll overthink it and mess it up. Liz came to us a few months back, and Liz has done more this year than she did the previous whole year so far. Liz, how are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry, guys. I'm driving, so I apologize if it gets a little choppy. But I'm good. How are you?
Good. How is the GPS helped you with your business, and share with us what's worked for you by being part of these calls in this group?
Absolutely. So just waking up every morning and getting on these calls, just the positive energy and everyone just coming from contribution, just willing to pour into each other. And it's free, like it's authentic. And that just puts me in a mindset. It sets the tone for the entire day. I'm, super pumped up. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. And these calls, just everyone just willing to pour into each other. It really sets the tone for me. And one of the things that really has changed the business for me is, Tom, you talk about it all the time, is being a great co-broke. We all talk about, having to be there for our clients and being, being of service to our clients. But we also forget that we're in business with the other person on the other side as well. And I have gotten so many compliments from agents that are from different companies, are just like, wow, Liz, like you completely, like, I cannot believe how professional you've been. You've solved every curveball that's come your way and just exceeded expectations. You not only, you set the tone of what the transaction is going to look like, but it's wow, like you are awesome. And I'm like, well, hey, have you thought about coming to EXP? Have you thought about, having a conversation or just joining one of the calls so you can have that too? You know what I mean? And that has really changed the game for me as well. And that's how I'm winning multiple offers. That's how I'm getting so many people under contract, because I'm coming from a place of I'm just being a great co-broker.
So thank you for that participation, Liz. So I talk about that often. Be the best co-broke you can possibly be, regardless of our ego, right?
Yep.
Here's what I know. I'm still learning this at home, by the way, because I'm surrounded by all females at home too. So I'm still learning this. I'm not going to fight to prove I'm right anymore, because you know what? At the end, you end up losing trying to explain why you're so right, even if you are. So what I mean by that is, if your co-broke is just totally wrong, just get through the transaction and support the transaction. Be the best do the oil and water. You're fighting through the whole battle and you're insulting each other. And it's not about you guys. It's about the consumer. It's about the buyer and the seller. It's not about us as realtors. We will get in the way of the transaction. If a buyer is making an offer of $200,000 on a $250,000 listing and the seller accepts it and the listing agent gets mad because he didn't get full price, it's not about the agent, it's about the consumers. So please understand, Liz, fantastic. Be the best co-broke you can be. And by the way, that'll help you grow your business because you can get referrals and everything else. Jonathan. I didn't mean to do that.
That's all
wanted-
right. I'm always at the bottom of the pile.
Hey, how's it feel to be up there in the grandstands of the?
Dude, these
Fenway
seats are
Park?
amazing. I can't wait for baseball season. Let's do it. Let's do it. Look,
A
if the
good friend of
baseball,
mine is,
if baseball could figure it out, all of us can figure it
A
out.
good
It's
friend
just-
of mine is he's actually like Jerry Maguire.
Oh,
And he's
right.
got several Red Sox players, and I'm always calling him, "Hey, Tommy, who do you got over there?" You know.
Hey, Tommy, you got any tickets?
Yeah.
Hey, and another thing, Tom Brady not retiring. Come on, it's a good week.
It's a great week.
So what I was gonna ask Chris and Daryl actually was Tina Valiant. So it's a really good show, right?
Yes,
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She
So
is
you should go,
incredible.
right?
absolutely.
If you have
We're
the
actually-
opportunity to go see Tina Valiant and you live in Palm Beach County, you should go, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
This is
We're
She
buying a
was plugged
ticket.
for the event
We're
on
buying a
Tuesday.
ticket from somebody that just is joining with us today or Monday. And Tina is so great. We're buying her a ticket and bringing her along.
That's amazing.
Not to the Palm Beach though, because that's a little far for us. We're gonna probably
Really?
be Orlando.
I was so excited to see you guys.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, maybe we'll have to go to both.
Hey, I'll tell you this, Jonathan, thanks for bringing that up. Tina is bringing value, and you know what? For the cost of her class, you cannot beat that. By the way, imagine you bring in one guest from another company for that value. By the way, you write that off in your taxes, right? You write that off in your taxes. The best co-broke, I want to invite you to this class and I'm going to pay for it. And I'm committed to paying for it for you. Would you commit to coming? They're gonna eventually join you guys. So thank you, Jonathan, for bringing that up. I wanted to piggyback off of that. I heard free, our calls are free and you get something out of it. I heard Tina Valiant. I heard putting you as the business owner, like Kara mentioned, not the company, right? The company, you come first, the company comes second. We are very agent centric. We are the very first company that is truly agent centric. A lot of companies say they're agent centric. Now there's great companies out there. I don't want to beat them up. What I want to say is you are the brand and you are the business. If you are not developing your business and your brand, when you leave that company, you'll feel trapped to that company, or you'll feel, oh, without so-and-so, I wouldn't be where I am today. That's not true. Because when I ask deeper questions, the last time they heard from their broker was a year or a half ago, or when they had to call them for a broker issue. Your broker doesn't acknowledge you because you're doing great business. Your broker will acknowledge you when you're ready to leave because they're losing money. This GPS brings value. I've never seen anything like it ever. A total EXP value.
Tom, one of the things that brings so much value, not just to the GPS, but to EXP in general and to every single person in this room, and you really need to think about this when I say this, is Tom said it before, you are an owner in this company. And one of the greatest things about the collaboration amongst all of us is we all realize we are owners in this company. So if Tiffany needs my help, it's in my best interest to help Tiffany. Because if Tiffany succeeds, we all succeed, right? Deborah needs my help. It's in my best interest to help Deborah, because if Deborah succeeds, we all succeed. And neither one of them are anywhere near where I live. But if you want to bring it down to that, anybody else in Palm Beach County needs my help, I'll be there to help you, because if you succeed, we all succeed. And there's no get out of my way, I'm getting that lead, or what, you know what? You got that lead? Great. How do we sell that house for you? How do we help you get another one? How do we do? That's what we're all about. Whereas everybody else that I speak to, and I talk to them, I'm like, do you have something like that? They're all like, well, I've known my broker for years, or, I'm really comfortable here. And those are the reactions that I get. But the truth of the matter is, one of the most motivating factors for me, and think about this, is that you own this company.
That's right.
Your friend that works at Keller Williams, they don't own that company. Your friend that works at Remax, they don't own that company. They may have stock in it, but they don't own it
No,
because they don't get the same privileges that we do.
that's right.
That's the best part about this company. And they say, oh yeah, by the way, go be you.
Yeah.
Go be you. Sell you the way you sell, as long as it's legal and ethical. Please, let's be honest and fair about that, right? But go be you. Brand yourself. Make your name. Right? Fred tells me all the time, stop using just EXP or the Saperstein Group or the DeFalco Group and create your brand. People, you have that opportunity to stand out amongst everybody else in the industry. Do it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jonathan. Hey, I want to dig into something else here because this is your call and this is a mastermind for you guys, bringing something to others that you learned from these calls that helped you grow your business. Is there anyone else? Deep, I want to dig into just a couple questions with you. And
first, Tom, before the question, I was just waiting for everybody else to chime in. So, we always chime in every week.
I seen your facial expressions and I seen the thinking cap going, and I'm like, I need to focus in on Deep for a moment here. Go ahead.
I've been doing this. I've been doing this for 17 years. Everybody knows that, and I pretty much take everybody's calls, and everybody knows how easy is this group to get hold of somebody to help you in every direction. What's changed for me in the last 3 years, it's been 3 years with EXP, it's the mindset. My Wednesday calls with Fred, your calls on Fridays. Fred, the godfather who's been in the business for 120 years, who comes up with kind of mindset that, get prepared for the new change, get prepared for anything that comes in front of us. And that's really changed my game in my business. I think my business doubled last year. It's going to double this year. I don't want to get into volume, and it's coming from giving back, and I always had that great mindset of doing others, helping others, but I was a horrible receiver. So Fred's helping me with that process. Because if the day I become a very good receiver, I'm going to be able to give more back in this world that I live in, that I love. So you guys are making a big impact. People who don't take advantage of this group, I really feel sorry for them. They're missing out on something. We have 43 people on this call. Our total group, including George's group, is pretty close to 1,100 people. We're not even 10% of the people on this call. So it's pretty kind of, it's like, I keep on telling my mentors, we do a weekly calls on 1 hour on Wednesdays. And we keep on telling them same thing. I can take the horse to the water. I can't make the horse drink the water. We can show you everything, but you got to practice it. Fred can talk about 110,000 steps, but if you don't walk, it doesn't it's not going to do nothing. All the coaching you do on Fridays, great ideas. If you don't implement those, you're at the same level. You showing up here every week, you're just making it worse for your own self. You're in a way fooling yourself. Oh, I'm here, I'm getting all the knowledge, but you're not implementing. I don't care what it is, do it. 1%, 2%, 5%. Start somewhere and you'll see the result and you'll start implementing more. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, Tom, I'm gonna jump in there.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Deep, thank you for that.
Deep, number one, I do not resemble those comments about how long I've been in the business. Look at this. I mean, look at this. Look. I don't resemble those.
I know. You know what I mean by that.
I'm kidding. But listen, hey guys, first of all, you're all the faithful ones showing up. You're here. And you may be saying, boy, how come it's working so well for other people, but not me? I just put a link in the text there, positiveintelligence.com. I talked about this last Wednesday. You're going to be hearing a lot about this. This is the new, we have definitely the IQ, and some of the biggest failures in my 45-year career, people I've mentored, are people with the biggest IQs. So IQ doesn't do it, right? And then you have the EQ, which is the emotional intelligence. And the emotional intelligence, I've had some people with real high emotional intelligence, and it just wasn't quite enough because they just still couldn't get out of their way. But this positive intelligence, I'm promising you, it's been one of the most, it's almost like the icing on the cake for me. It's amazing how you discover these things. So go there, study this guy's material, study, well, how come it didn't, the hot link didn't pop up? Anyway, positiveintelligence.com. It's called PQ. I'm going to bring that into this group and do it as a group as well as the individuals. They have a free self-test on there. It is incredible. I just finished a book last night on my 16,000 step walk. It is incredible. But as this group that you're here, and if you're not doing it yet, and that's because you're too concerned with the how. I just had someone text me. I've been working with one of my people, and I'm not calling you out because no one knows who we're talking about, but they said, how, you know, because I said, you got to get a good bio together, get a good bio together. They wrote me back. They said, hey, what points should I put in my bio? And I just went to Google and I just said, how to write a good bio for a real estate agent. And oh my gosh, the powerful things that pop up. We got to remember, it's not the how do I do it. It's the what do I do? And you don't think about outside you. If you're coming to this group to get information and you're coming to this group to get motivation and all this other stuff, it's the wrong reason. You want to come to this group to raise your level of thinking. You want to tune into YouTube premium channel to raise your level of thinking. You want to get so frustrated, finally saying enough of being broke, enough that my checking account doesn't have more money than I need, enough that I can't give what I want to give, enough that I'm not happy in a relationship, enough of this. I'm done with this. I'm done with myself. The complacency, I tell you, if there's ever any depression you're battling, if there's any ever doubt you're battling, it's complacency. It's complacency. So these calls will get you to remove that complacency as long as you don't have that how block up there. Instead of hell, it's a how. And that it is a hell, because how do I do this? Just do it. I mean, Nike's brand is phenomenal. Just do it. And we all want to do it. So we claim. But the problem is the want is not enough. I don't necessarily want to get up in the morning and follow my routine all the time. I mean, yesterday I had a problem struggling with my 2 push-ups, but yet I wind up doing 16,000 steps yesterday because I just did it. And then my want came. The want is not enough. Why is not enough? The doing it, and then a lot of that follows, right? So that's the key to discipline. And then the other thing is the leadership of this group, because I've been really in the last 2 weeks putting some things together about the group. And if the teacher hasn't taught, if the student hasn't learned, the teacher hasn't taught, okay? So we've been teaching, but a lot of you are doing phenomenal, but it's not enough because we got to figure out a structure with these meetings to get more people involved because, you have the Pareto rule, which is the 80-20 rule, right? In psychology and everything, the 80-20 rule. The industry is about 80% of the people. 20% of the people are making 80% of all the money. So that Pareto rule really is real, right? So I had someone who's doing very well, and I won't point out any names, doing very well with attracting agents, only been with us for 10 months. And she says, but I'm feeling frustrated because, they don't do this, they don't do it. And I said, wait a minute, let's look at your people. Guess what? It was the 80-20 rule. Well, because they're so personally kind and wonderful and fantastic, and they're so invested that they care about these people. But I said, listen, you've got to spend 80% of your time, okay, with the 20% of the people that are doing it and that care, and not these people who say they're going to do it. Okay, so that you gotta move that rule. So as a group, okay, whoever I'm talking to right now, if you're the one that has that complacency, look in the mirror and say, hey, future me, 3 years from today, where will I be? 3 years from today, where will I be? You are going to be the same person you are today, 5 years from today, except for 2 things. Only 2 things: the people you meet here, and the books you read. That's the only difference. And that's what Deep was just talking about. He's a different person because when I talked about the mini course for life, he bought it. Watch this. Watch, it'll appear on the screen. He keeps it right there. I said YouTube premium channel. He is subscribed to it. I said this book, he did it. Aspire, the book Aspire, he did it. He's probably already got on positiveintelligence.com. And take those self-tests. Stop. You are living in the greatest time of human race. Google, YouTube. There's not anything I don't Google. So there's no reason. The only reason you're not doing it, if you are attending, is because complacency. It's a cancer. It causes cancer. We are exactly where we are today because of us. I don't care if it's, I bring this up a lot, and the only reason I do, because it's extreme and it's out there. I say I had created and I caused everything in my life, and people say, Fred, that's not kind of you to say that. It's not kind to yourself when you say you caused the death of your 36-year-old daughter who died of pneumonia and H1N1 flu in 2014. I created everything in my life because of what someone gave me. See, I believed in punishment back then when I caught her smoking at 12, 13 years old. I made her smoke 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. I think we got the 8 cigarettes until she vomited. And so guess what? It planted in. She died as a smoker. So did I create some of that? If she wasn't a smoker, maybe she would have survived. But again, there's no judgment. There's no judgment from anyone, no judgment from God at all. Okay, it's all forgiveness, it's all love. And once we get that, and we need to practice that on ourselves. So we have created everything we are. You are where you are. Life has not happened to you. It's happened for you. And when you get that, I guarantee you, you are going to radically send a message out to God, to the universe, whatever you want to call it. I was telling somebody I was coaching yesterday. I said, and I've got someone this morning that's been in her home now. This time it was a year stint. She went in hiding, bipolar. Is that God does not hear your prayers, folks. God is deaf to your prayers. You went, Fred, what are you talking about? You lost your mind. God can't hear prayers because of divine intelligence and who he is. He can't hear prayers. Say, oh, God, please help me. When he's already given me everything I needed inside me. Now, when I say, God, give me light so that I may see above all else I want to see. Now he'll answer that prayer. Let me brighten it up for you. But a lot of times we sit around and we moan and we groan it. So these calls are here to raise your level of thinking. And for those of you that are on here, I'm probably preaching to the choir, and I don't mean to do that. Sorry, Tom. But a couple of calls yesterday, I had like 3 calls yesterday. Some of the questions, and then when this other person was telling me how her people are frustrating her because they don't step up and take personal responsibility for yourself. So I'm out to eliminate complacency in this group because it is a cancer. It's a cancer. So, and that's what this group will do for you. But you got it. When you're on these things, I want you to kind of put a picture of how up on your computer, wherever you watch these meetings, and put a big X through it. I want you to put what am I going to do with this information? What am I going to do about myself? And do away with the how. The how is killing you. So you hear these people say, I did this, I did that. I got 3 offers. You may say, oh yeah, they can do it. I can't. Bullshit. You can do it. Cross out the how and you'll do it. I promise you. Tom, sorry.
Fred, thanks for all the encouragement and the words. Here's what I have to say and piggyback on what Fred has said. And Fred can really go deep into good explanation where I'm just a little more harsh, right? People can say whatever they want about me. My presentation is get to the point. There's a great book called Mindset. And this book has changed everything for me. A lot of books have. This book talks about the 2 different mindsets out there, right? And just like Fred, the doers and the non-doers, or the poison in your mindset, and who you hang around with. There's 2 types of people out there, and this is where it becomes real relevant to our organization. You have anchors and you have engines. Anchors will sink you and drown you, and the engines are going to push you forward. We are nothing but a bunch of engines. Here's what your part must be. Your part is to take action on these items. And open door offer pad. I can account for $100,000 of income for the agents just from me doing that call. I don't know of any others. Dina's one, Robert Kazazian's another, Lyra and Bryce are one. My own family, we cashed a check for $13,000 last week. And guys, guess what I did? I did nothing. Okay, I did nothing. Joe Vero, South Florida, done. You know, these are people that are taking action. Don't call me and go, can you explain the entire process for me? Because guess what? I'm just like you. I clicked on agent, submit offer, and I had to learn too. But I will help you if you take action. I'm not going to spend an hour with someone that wants to learn the ins and outs of everything that's not going to do something. Take action, tell me what you messed up on, and let's work on it, right? So the key to anything is taking action. But what happens is, what Fred digs into often is our mindset. What is the limited beliefs that we have in our mindset? I can look through this book, and by the way, it's an amazing book, Defining Moments, Proving You're Special. We're all special. My wife tells me I'm special all the time. To whom it may concern, what you think of me is none of my business, right? We allow people to pull us down because we want to think, oh, what do they think of me? Oh my gosh. Grow your mindset. This book right here will be a life changer for you, because you know what? Your mindset is what stops you from your success. Your mindset will help you achieve your success too. So get all the negativity out. Somehow, some way, you got to put it on you got to face it, get rid of it. Whatever it is, your mindset is the most important critical component for your success. And that's been a huge book for me. So I got a lot out of this call today. Free, mindset, Tina Valiant, be the best co-broke. You know, these things here, you're the business owner in your business, not the company, right? You're the brand. There's a lot of things that we got out of this call. Here's what I encourage you to do today. Kara, thank you for already taking a step to do that. I was going to say something at the very end here too. Kara already posted something on Facebook about the mastermind this morning and how many attendees, and said, oh, this is a low attendance versus what we usually have, because we usually have an average 100 people. Maybe everybody's hung over from St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. I was at the gym versus the bar. I don't know. That's me. But I like my shamrocks. Anyway, do something on social media that says, I just participated in this mastermind that's going to help me become a better realtor to deliver better service to my customers. And I want to thank the GPS. Hey, Tiffany, what did we call our hashtag? Is it the GPS difference? GPS?
Yes. Hashtag the GPS difference.
The GPS difference, right? So if you can post something of value that you learned today or what these calls bring you, also hashtag the GPS difference. We're trying to really show people what this company and this group is bringing of value. We deliver so much value. You guys gain so much value. We're not telling our people about it and growing from it. That's what we want to work on. So Kara, thanks for that. So the hash, I always call it £, the GPS difference.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
Kara needs to introduce those two wonderful.
Oh, I know it. Look at them.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh, you guys are so attentive. What is her?
Are they business partners or are they assistants?
These are my bosses.
Yep.
Patty and Carly are on spring break this week, and we are counting down the days, but they've been fantastic and just brought me peanut butter crackers with Fruit Loops on top for breakfast.
Girls, you are unbelievable.
Oh my God, that's my favorite.
It's
I would
so
love
good.
that.
actually sounds kind of good though.
I would love that.
Of all the
Not
things
mad
that
at
your
it.
kids, of all the things that your kids bring you to eat, all of the parents on here know that that sounds amazing.
And they even went so far as to put green peanut butter in these ones. So yeah.
It's very creative.
And that's adorable. I want to do a special thank you to Claire for always participating in our calls and delivering crazy, awesome value for our agents. And thank you, Claire, for all that you do for our group as well. And Claire leading some of our calls is, you know, when she leads a call, you just can't miss it. So
I appreciate that, Tom. So can I say something that is heavy so far as what we're talking about?
Sure.
Okay, so in listening and watching the chats and seeing all about our mindset, ask yourself this question, because it's something that all of us leaders on here and every person that's on here, whether I can see your face or not, you're a leader in something, for something, and you are important. When we are comfortable with the uncomfortable spots of the mindset, so that the growth that needs to occur can meet the head and the heart together, that 18 inches, which is the journey of life, you have done yourself the greatest service in the universe. Because it's through those uncomfortable times. My husband reminded me this morning during morning devotions, that's the reason why I was late, is this: we never know who our cheerleaders are. We have to be willing to listen to those actual tangible miracles that happen when someone either says thank you, or someone says, oh my gosh, you are wonderful. And Tom, I appreciate that you do that often to everybody on this call. You feel that we are important. That is what GPS and the mindset is about. When we're in our uncomfortable times, that's when growth happens, because you know what, emotionally and action wise, we won't move unless we're in pain. So I just encourage all of us at any given point in time, if we are feeling uncomfortable, go internal and ask why. Ask those deep questions. And you can actually, I mean, Tom's 4 questions that we're asking, even during attraction, we can ask ourselves those questions, you know, continually. Thank you, Tom. I mean, Fred and I talk about heart all the time. You know, his acronym for heart is in conjunction with my acronym for heart. And we can use all of these things together to help each other. There is no one on this call that is better than anyone else. There are people on this call that are better at something than someone else on the call. And that's where our strengths are helping each other through our strengths, not pointing out our weaknesses. So thank you for never diminishing us. Thank you for continuing to uplift and encourage us, and helping us understand that those uncomfortable spaces are opportunities for us to grow exponentially.
Claire, amen. And I'm glad you brought up heart, because you got to remember, every time you participate, every time you say something, you're giving someone heart. On Wednesday, I was talking about someone's smile, right? Olivia's smile, how she really, truly gets me to smile more, because sometimes I'm so deep in thought and I'm a thinker that I don't smile enough. And she always is smiling. Every time you see Olivia, she's smiling. And I just got some heart just now from someone. Wednesday's call, we had, I don't know, about 10 people, 45 people. I said, go to intelligence, positiveintelligence.com, take the self-test, share it with me, share it. I would love to share it. I only got 1 share. You know when that was? Just now. And I'm going to call Stephanie Gonzalez out. Where are you? Thank you for the love.
Hey.
You just called my heart to in-law. You gave me more courage that what I do means something. Your results are very close to mine.
Oh.
Really interesting. Wow, that's cool. So she took the test, you know, what are her sabotagers in her life and her mind and that kind of stuff, and spend a lot of time on that site, Steph, and please get his book. I mean, I'm telling you folks, over the years, my whole life, I've got 45 years invested in personal development, and this thing is really like the icing on the cake, making everything make sense. What do you think just taking the test?
I thought it was really great. I'm actually in a lot of Enneagrams and all of the saboteurs, and The Enneagram test is really, if you're not familiar with it, it's like 9 different numbers. And basically it really aligned with what those saboteurs were with the numbers. So it just went in, I just went into a deeper study. So it was really great. And I really, the Enneagram, I'm a 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is, by the way, folks, that's another powerful thing that I'm going to be bringing in. I'm going to this thing called the Cabin Experience, and that's what they use. So, folks, you just look, Jim Rohn, work harder on yourself than you do your business, and your business will follow. Work harder on yourself than you do your relationships will follow. Work harder on yourself than anything in life, and everything else in life will follow. And that's what you're doing, Steph. Thank you for sharing your results with me. That was fantastic. Yeah, but this positive intelligence on top of what you're used to, wait till you get into his book. You're going to be blown away. Yeah. Yeah. And his exercises. Thank you so much.
This is awesome. You know what? I want to say this. I've taken so many behavioral assessments from different organizations. I've actually validated hundreds of assessments, including my own wife's, right? So this book also has an assessment in there. My coach, my first coach, emotional intelligence, she said, Tom, take this test and send it to me. I'm like, I've done a million behavior assessments. I know my behavior. She said, no, do it. When we did it, what I come to realize was a key component. I'm so like passionate about something, but when I talk about it, I can come across as aggressive, argumentative. I can leave people behind. I can make people feel like they weren't listened to, and it's not true, but it's the perception, right? So I had to learn that about myself through that assessment. Now I can do the DISC assessment and I can read it. It doesn't go into as much detail as this assessment. So I'm going to look into this one. Fred, if you haven't done an assessment somewhere and give it to someone else to read to you, that is powerful. Give it to your spouse, give it to your kids, give it to a business partner, an accountability partner. You will learn something about yourself. So me and my wife were total different opposites. I'm a DI, she's an SC. I'm a 99D and a 97I. And she's a 97C and a 98S, right? So she's structured and cautious. So when she says, can you get, when I say, honey, can you get that? What is that? What is that? There's a lot of that's around, right? And I'm like, we were just talking about that. And it's not an argument. It's not a conflict. It's her mind thinks differently than mine. And what that will do is that'll help you when working with your consumers, because you can identify who you are and look out for those things that are dangerous, that could be perceived differently.
Hey, Tom. Hey, everybody, watch out. Tom has a great IQ. He has a great EQ. Now he's going to get with this PQ. And I don't know if we'll be able to handle him. I don't know if you're going to be able to handle me, because no, and Tom, what's really interesting about this is that it makes all the stuff that you've had over all these years. Now I know why. Wow. And then, you know, he talks about the saboteurs. He talks about your sage and how to make your sage stronger than, and he gives the scientific research that behind it. Someone just texted me, said, hey, I can't find the assessment on there. I'm not going to stop and tell you where to find it. It's on there. And you better look until you find it. And I'm coming after you. I know who you are. I've had 3 of those. Not just now, but last week, Wednesday. So I says, well, I can't find the assessment. Come on, guys, look on there. There's an assessment on there. That means because you're quickly scanning. All right. I'm not going to, my job is not to give you fish. My job is to teach you to fish. It's on there. Steph, did you find the assessment okay? Did you find it?
Yeah, it's on the tab up top.
Don't
You have
tell
to go
them.
on there like, oh,
Don't tell them.
I can't help it. I'm a helper.
No, you're good. That's right. That's one of your saboteurs. By the way, everyone says, I want to help. I want to help. That is Steph's and my greatest saboteur, right? It sabotages us more than it helps us. And when you start getting into this guy's book and his information, you'll see why and how you balance that. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm kind, I'm wonderful, and I'm help. Mine was the same score that you got, just about. It was, matter of fact, the pleaser. You got the pleaser up at the top. So did I. And that is a saboteur, right? That is definitely a saboteur. So anyway, get into it.
Fred, where is it?
I'm going to choke you. Positiveintelligence.com. And then you go down and you start reading. And as you get down to the bottom, it's going to say, you know, about the saboteurs. It's going to tell you, read the site. I'm not telling you. I found it on my own. Steph found it on her own. Come
Fred,
on.
could you just share the link for us that goes like exactly to the assessment?
No, that's going to be your fish. I'm not doing it because then you won't read all that other great stuff on there. But for
No, Fred, we need you to do that.
See, Jessica Baskis knows that I'm a helper and I'm a pleaser, so she knows I'm going to go do it for her now. No.
If you're asking to be spoon-fed like a baby, you will continue to get baby food.
Right at the middle, it's orange. It says, discover what's holding you back. Discover your saboteurs. It's about middle on the very front page. It says, discover your saboteurs. Right in the middle on the orange, as soon as you go down the home page, it's orange. It says, discover what's holding you back. Discover your saboteurs. And then it goes into how we sabotage ourselves. Discover your saboteurs. And as you click that, it says 9 ways we self-sabotage. And then it tells it, and you hit next, saboteur assessment instructions. And then you hit start, and then there you go. Because I wanted you to read the other ones. It's right on the home page. It's in the orange section.
Well, for the high Ds, they just want to get to the test.
Yeah, but that's okay. They got to. It's right on the home page.
Fred, maybe you could just take the test for us.
Thank you. That's a good one, Jess. I love it.
Jessica's like a high double D.
You scroll down.
She wants you to do everything for her.
It's just discover what's holding you back. Discover your saboteurs. Right on the homepage, okay? Right in the middle.
I'm just messing with you, Fred. I'm gonna.
I know you are. I love
it.
I love it. By the way, hey, why Jessica just spoke up. You're talking about a good role model. Jessica, I loved your post yesterday on Instagram where you just got finished a coaching call with Gabby. And you started just sharing what you were sharing with Gabby and getting her set up and all. That was very smart. I bet you're going to get some good response off of that.
Thank you, Fred.
You know, she is such a, Jessica Baskis is, you know, I don't like talking about age like they tease me about mine. Deep tell me I'm 101 years old or whatever. But I do brag on Jessica Baskis being 26 and 26, 20, I always get it wrong. But, and she just is, you know why? She's just doing it. She's just doing it. It's not about the how with her. It's just she does it. Then she comes up and says, how could I do it better? Her own podcast. So, and she didn't figure out, she just went out and started doing it. Okay, good. Go ahead, Tom. I'm sorry.
I'm actually doing the assessment while you're talking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, be careful with those. Now, when you do those kind of assessments, you know, the whole idea is to do it, you know, kind of quietly and don't think too much about them. Answer the first thing.
I just shut it off. Yeah, that's Fred, you are 100% right. You should always do the assessment first thing in the morning when you've had no distractions or nothing life challenging hitting you.
Or quiet.
It can scare those. So
don't try to figure them out either, because then it throws it off. What you want to do with these assessments, you're supposed to answer the number one thing comes to your mind. People sit there and say, well, I'm more like 2 or 3 of these, but that's not the point. The first thing came out, what are you most like? Boom. The first thing came to your mind, next.
Because it times, it's got a timer in the background through this artificial intelligence. It knows when you click to the next, it knows how long you're reading it and how long you're thinking to answer it, which becomes a more analytical mindset thought process.
But that positive intelligence, Tom, I'm telling you, man,
I'm gonna do it.
Your wife thinks you're okay now. Wait till after you get your positive intelligence. You got your IQ, no doubt. You got your EQ, no doubt. But you haven't had your PQ. I thought I had I'm serious. I go, oh my gosh, that's been my problem. I don't even have positive intelligence. I've been working so hard on my IQ and my EQ. I didn't have a PQ.
Hey, I'm so, I'm like a squirrel. I forget things left and right and go to another subject. So I'll be calling you later and going, hey, where's that link again?
No, it's there right in the middle, folks. The orange section. What's holding you back? What's your saboteur?
So like Stephanie, I'm pretty much a helper too. So I click the link and put it.
I'm
in there.
engaging this company to do some consulting with me because I want to bring it in onto the team because there's team assessments and all kind of stuff. And we got to figure out this GPS thing, Tom, and everybody on that's been so contributive, because there should be a minimum of 20% of our people, which should be about 180 to 200 people every day on this call.
You know what I found, Fred, and this is through years of running companies and stuff too. What I found is somebody mentioned free, and I think it was Liz, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, Liz mentioned free. When something is free, we don't take advantage of it. When something is paid for, they take high accountability to it. And here's the thing, sometimes you can get the best stuff from this group by being free. Some of the stuff that I've brought to this group, I personally have thousands and thousands of dollars invested in going to these courses, doing this training, doing all this stuff, and I'll deliver it and it's free, right? So if I did a class and charged people, I would have more that paid than if I said, here's a free class, attend. It's just, for whatever reason, when we do something like this, Fred, these free things, and same thing with on the call yesterday, this individual has an organization of 4,000 people. There was 100 people on the call. He was very disappointed that there was only 100 people out of 4,000 people, and he opened it up to the public because it was free. He said, when I charge, I'll get a huge return.
Yeah.
People think that free isn't worth anything. That's why it's free. So for the most part, I mean, I learned this in my other businesses too. If you're giving too much away, people don't want it. Give them a little bit. They'll pay for it if they want it. That's the truth. It's human mentality. I mean, you give them a little taste and then they'll buy the whole cake. You know what I mean?
Whoa, don't start charging on us now.
I only got 2 more tickets to see Tina Valiant if anybody wants them. 2. Then you got to pay.
Style. I love it. Hey guys.
Style, you can come.
Thanks everyone. We gotta run.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Good luck
Bye,
on that
Nudies.
closing.